Well, welcome to the Valley Hoops Insider podcast, part of the Valley Hoops Insider website. Harry Schroeder with you, editor of the site, host of the show. And today we've got a great privilege. We've got Johnny Kinziger on with us from Illinois State, the outstanding guard with the Redbirds. Joins us this afternoon. Johnny, appreciate your time today. What part of the Redbird campus are you on right now?
Yeah, appreciate you having me. And I'm currently in our study hall for athletes. So I just finished up with some homework and hopped on this call. Had practice this morning, so it's been a very great day so far.
See, that's such a great intro. I'm at study hall. See, that's
Yeah.
already impressive for folks.
Uh-huh.
The Redbirds are 2-1. You're averaging 13 points, a little over 3 boards, a little over 3 assists. What do you like about the beginning of your season so far? The one loss was a narrow loss as well, but just talk about the early returns in this basketball season.
Yeah, I just start off by talking about adversity. We lost our first game, one that we didn't think we should have lost. We just didn't perform like we needed to. And, we didn't let that take us down. We went to North Dakota State, had a good win there, came back, had a good win over a great Ohio team. So, I think just like getting over that first game, getting over the shooting struggles, and then just, keeping the confidence up. We know like it's one game and then we got to move on to the next. We can't ponder what happened, whether we won or lost. We got to focus on our next opponent. So I think that's what I like the most about our team. We're next play, next game mentality.
That's cool. Trinity Christian on Sunday, and then the Paradise Jam. Are you excited about that trip?
So excited. I'm excited just to see, the area. Dalton Banks, he played there, I think his sophomore year, he said. So he was telling us about it, how cool it was. So I'm excited for that.
De Pere High School, you guys were 30-0 state champs. You were the Mr. Basketball and all of that kind of the things that go with that. All-time leading scorer, I think, at your school and I think in the entire area. Do you still look back and kind of think, man, that was awesome? I mean, like, do you still look back and have great fond memories about all that?
Yeah, for sure. That was one of the best times of my life, just with my high school buddies. You know, came up short the prior 2 years from my senior year. So just being able to actually experience the state, what comes with it, the celebration, and then just winning it all with your buddies. I'll be going through my phone and like see a video or a picture from it, and it just brings back great memories. It was a great time.
I believe your freshman year you played with your older brother Jake, and then your junior and senior years you played with your younger brother Zach. Talk about that. Talk about how fun that was to play with your brothers.
Yeah, it was awesome. Before high school, like me and my brothers, we got along obviously, but we didn't like have, the connection. And as we got older, our connection started to grow. And on the basketball court, that helped a ton. My older brother Jake, just getting to play with him for a year. He was our point guard at the time. He was our leader. So getting to like grow under him a little bit and see how he does things. And then my sophomore year, I was able, to take his role a little bit more, become a little bit more of a leader, point guard. And then my younger brother, Zach, coming up, he was able to do the same thing with me. So it's kind of cool to be able to play both sides of it, the younger guy and the older. And then I also had my dad as a coach for a few years as well. So it was just awesome to be able to share that moment with every part of my family.
So I do have a negative thing to bring up. So your younger brother Zach is really outstanding, and he signed with Wisconsin. How did you not get him signed?
I tried to get him here. I talked to him, but I guess he's an in-state guy who's dreamed of playing for the Badgers, so couldn't argue with him.
So you got to lean on Coach Peden to get a game with the Badgers once your brother gets there.
Yeah, we got to do that. That'd be awesome.
You came to Illinois State with a lot of hype. I mean, people were excited you were coming. Great reputation. They've started throwing nicknames at you like Johnny Buckets and Johnny Basketball. Do you have a favorite nickname that people have tossed your way?
Oh man, there's a lot of them. People are really creative with those. They're unreal. I heard someone say Winziger, Johnny Winziger, the other day. I like it because I just think like I love winning, most important that over anything. So I like that one. Or I like Johnny Basketball too. That's got a good flow with it.
The Instagram account, Johnny.Kinziger. I
Mm-hmm.
looked it up on purpose because there you also have a button where people can press to get merch. In this day and age, you guys have to
Mm-hmm.
promote yourself, don't you?
Yeah, it's crazy now with like NIL and that type of thing. Your name, your brand's always out there. So you're trying to find ways for, people maybe to purchase a shirt or a jersey or anything of yours that, they'll support you and it'll help bring in commission for yourself. So I just try to find small ways to put it on social media where someone could go and buy some merch to support me and, that type of thing. It's worked out all right.
JK11 T-shirt was my particular favorite that I looked at
Mhm.
on your
Yeah,
merch
those are
site.
cool.
I like that one. Oh, by the way, why number 11? I know you wore number 1 in high school. Why 11 at Illinois State?
Yeah, I started to wear 11 my last AAU season, so I kinda just number 1 was taken when I came here, and then I thought 11 was always a cool number, so I'm gonna ride that out now for the rest of my career, just like, I love it. 11's my new number.
I'm always interested in why guys pick them. Last year, you leave De Pere and like you never lost games. I think you were like 97-10 or something when you were in high
Mhm.
school, some crazy number like that.
Yeah.
And then you guys have an okay year last year. I think 15, 16 wins last year.
Yep.
Talk about the transition from star of the state, winning the state championship, I never lose a game, to, wow, college is kind of tough and we're about a 500 team. Just talk about that journey.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely tough at times. A lot of adversity during the season, some up and downs. But our coaches did a really good job of just talking about staying level, no matter a big win or or a bad loss. So, we had times where we lose 3 games in a row, and I was like, wow, it's winning in college is a lot harder than I
Yeah.
ever imagined it to be. Whenever you can get a win, it's a great day. Um, so it definitely went through just a little what's the word I'm looking for? We just went through little rough spots here and there throughout the year, and it kind of like that's where I learned that you can't lose your confidence. Like you lose, we got to bounce back. You got to find ways to do it the next time. Watch the video, learn from those mistakes, and then go and put out a better performance for the next game.
You were on the all bench team last year, the all freshman team. And as the year wore on, you started starting more and really started
Mhm.
producing at higher levels, in terms of points on the scoreboard and all that. Talk about that back end of the season, about how you grew into that role, or what you were learning while you were growing into that role.
Yeah, I mean, early on in the season, I was trying to learn, and I was looking at Dalton Banks a lot. Seeing what he did, trying to learn about his leadership and that type of thing. And then my confidence just kind of kept growing.
Hmm.
The coaches and my teammates, they were really good with lifting me up and boosting my confidence. So when I had their trust, I was able to just kind of take off when I was given opportunities, whether it was just take a charge on defense, be where I'm supposed to be, make the right play. And after I started doing that, I started to get more open shots, and then those started to fall. So it was kind of just started with the little things. And then I ended up just working my way into the role I had at the end of the season.
So what is different this year? Meaning you come in, I think you're a preseason all conference player in the Missouri Valley Conference. What's different this year about the confidence or the things you're working on, or even your role on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, my confidence is at the same spot. I'm just very a confident player. You kind of have to be being a 5'11" guard. But it's I just go out there every day and just try to work as hard as I can. It's just trying to be a better leader. That's something I'm working really hard on as a point guard or just a guard in general. Just trying to be a leader of the team on both sides of the ball. So that's probably where I'm at right now this year. Just trying to get over that hump. I'll have days where I can be a great leader and days where I fall off a little bit. So I'm trying to get that consistently.
You mentioned Dalton. I wanted to ask you about working with he and Malachi last year, and again this year, having older guys that have kind of been through the wars a little bit. What could you
Mm.
pick up? What did you learn from those guys?
Yeah, I learned a ton. Just like that first year, I learned what it takes to win. what your mindset has to be after a loss or after a win, and just, small things like that. But even just like technique wise, like on defense, where you have to be, on offense, the pace that you have, the cutting, all the details that, like, when you're in high school, you don't really understand that. You're just watching college games, like, you don't really look in detail. Then when you get in the moment, it's like, wow, this is way more detailed than high school. You have to execute, you have to be fast, strong. So it's just like a lot of the little details, they help me understand and kind of grow with that.
You guys added some new players, and they're contributing. I want to ask you about those, but I wanted to start talking about some of the guys that were still around, like Walker and Pence, and how they're developing and how they have developed this year.
Yeah, those guys are developing like greatly. They got a year under their belt now. They've seen what it's like. I live with them every day. So we get the opportunity just to work together and grow together. And it starts just with how hard they work and all the hours they put in the off season. And so far, it's been working out really good for them, and I think it'll continue.
Missouri Valley fans know about Landon Wolf because of his time at Northern Iowa. Tell us what he brings to the table for you guys.
Yeah, he just brings to the table the ability to shoot the ball, get to the paint. He's very lengthy, very strong. So he's just an ability on offense, to get a quick three off or get to the paint, create for others, finish himself. And then on defense, with his length, like I mentioned, he can just cover so much ground, can be active on the ball, and then he could be a great rebounder for us too, which you've already seen in the first few games.
And tell us about Skunberg. He's new to all of us, so tell us about him.
Yeah, he's just one of the best competitors I've seen. He works out constantly, trying to better his game. Great shooter, great driver. He can get into the paint and create for others. Just works his butt off. Sucks right now. He's injured. I don't know how much longer he'll be out, probably a few weeks, but we just can't wait for him to get back. He'll help our team a ton.
It is difficult, isn't it? Throughout the season, you'll lose a guy here or there, and it changes everything. And so it makes, big adjustments for lots of people. Talk to me about ending up at Illinois State. What was it about Ryan Peden or the rest of the coaching staff or the campus there at Illinois State that first attracted you to Bloomington Normal?
Yeah, first off, it was definitely the coaches, straight up. We had a great connection from the first time. We talked in person. I came down for the visit. They did all the right things. They did things the right way, the way that I kind of my values portrayed. The big thing that came up to me was we did a film session, and he was straight up, like a film session of some of my high school clips. And he was straight up with me on what I needed to work on. So I knew, like, when I was coming here, he wasn't going to
Wow.
He was going to tell it to me straight up. Like, he was going to tell me how to get better, like what I need to do. So that was kind of one of the biggest things that he did, Coach Peden.
That's a little challenging. I mean, maybe he could have turned you off, but instead it was impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Some people might take that the wrong way, but growing up, my dad is the coach. I've heard a lot of that, so I was used to hearing about it.
And so now you've been there a year plus, and what do you think? What are the elements that make Ryan Peden the outstanding coach that he is?
I just think his how detailed he is, how much time he puts in. He's up there constantly, and like his mentality too. He wants us to be a tough, gritty team, and it starts with him. He's a tough and gritty coach. So I think just his values and the values he puts on our team, and then just like I said, the hours he puts in, it rubs off on the players. When you have a coach that leads by example, the players follow that. And this year, for sure, we've grown compared to last year in those areas.
And maybe the hardest hitting question of the interview is, what was your time like being on the Maddox Minute?
I love those, man. Maddox does a great job with them. Always has some great questions, gets everyone involved. My family members loved it. They're huge fans of Maddox, so I think everyone has a good time with it.
I mentioned the game on Sunday and then the Paradise Jam. You've been through the Valley one time, and I know the teams have changed. I mean, there's so much transition in terms of rosters and all of that. But as you step back and think about a year ago, what are the kinds of things the Redbirds have to do this year to be more successful at Missouri Valley play?
Yeah, I mean, we have to obviously shoot the ball better.
Yeah, 3-point shooting was not good for your team a year ago.
No, last year we struggled shooting the ball. And coach did a good job of going out in the portal this year and recruiting freshmen that, could shoot. And then I think just being able to finish games, execute in closing time and be the tougher team. There's times last year where we just weren't the tougher team. We got out toughed, and, that's not our brand of basketball. So in order for this year, I think we're just going to have to perform like we know we can, and that comes with confidence, and then just be tougher than the team across from us and just want it more.
And then your favorite Missouri Valley Conference arena to play in that isn't SEFCU Arena?
Oh, I'm going to have to go with Indiana State.
Well, you had a pretty good game there.
Yeah, thank you. The game went well, and, we got to knock off the number 23 ranked team, and I just thought the arena was cool, Obviously, I think ours is the best by far. It's just perfect size. But I thought their atmosphere was good at Indiana State and could hold a lot of people too.
Atmosphere is great there when it's packed and they're going crazy. You had 31 in that game-winning shot against Missouri State. If you step back, final kind of thoughts here. Last year, the highlight for you of freshman season at Illinois State for you?
That's tough. I think it's the game-winning shot. It was at home. It was my mom's birthday too, so I got to celebrate with her after, and she was at the game. So I just think that shot, it was a cool moment. We started to win some games in a row. At the end of the season, we started to find our stride, and got to celebrate with the team after. So that was probably my best moment.
Appreciate your time. Wish you all the best the rest of the season. And look forward to just seeing you down the road as you guys proceed. I just expect big things out of the Redbirds this year.
Of course. Thank you for having me. It was great talking to you.
That's Johnny Kinziger. He is the star guard of the Illinois State Redbirds, and the Redbirds get to go to the Paradise Jam, the Bahamas, here in just a little bit. You've been watching the Valley Hoops Insider podcast, part of the Valley Hoops Insider website. Thanks for joining us today. Remember, since you've been there, make it a better place. We'll see you again real soon.